Hi dear students, I am Srinivasa from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. So we have already completed the 10 lessons and now we are moving to the 11th lesson, that is basic features of India. So what are the basic features? Features means how it looks and everything. What are the basic features of India? We will study. We will study these basic features because we are living in Indian country. India is our country. We have to know which are the basic features. So I will explain one by one. Just first I will read the lesson. Our country India lies in the northern hemisphere in the continent of Asia. It is the seventh largest country in the world. Our neighboring countries are Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China and Sri Lanka. So which is our country? India is our country. Where it lies? Yes, it lies in the northern hemisphere. When you take the globe, it is in the northern hemisphere. The globe is divided into two equal parts. The globe is divided into two equal parts. When you compare to this globe, this is the equator, this is northern hemisphere, this is southern hemisphere. Our India lies in the northern hemisphere. Our India lies in the northern hemisphere. That is in the continent of Asia. In which continent our India present? Yes, in Asian continent our India is located. It is the seventh largest country in the world. When you compare in the area wise, this is the seventh largest country. Seventh largest country. Which are our neighboring countries? That means surrounding us, so many countries are there. Which are they? First one is Nepal, second one is Bhutan, third one is Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, and in the down it is Sri Lanka. In the down it is in the Sri Lanka. Remaining all are in the northern side. The last one is in the southern area because our India is a peninsula, you know very well. This is the Sri Lanka. Remaining all are comes here only in this area. So remaining countries are come. Okay, this Sri Lanka comes here. Remaining this all the three sides are covered by water. Covered by water. So this is about the how our India is located on the world map. So once again I will read. Our country India lies in the northern hemisphere in the continent of Asia. It is the seventh largest country in the world. Our neighboring countries are Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Myanmar, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China and Sri Lanka. Next we will move to physical features. Physical features. There are different landforms in our country like the mountain ranges, plateaus, desert and plains. These form the physical features of our country. India is a peninsula. A peninsula is a land surrounded by water on three sides and a land on one side. India has groups of islands on the eastern and western side of the mainland. An island is a piece of land surrounded by water on all sides. The Lakshadweep group of islands and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are the two groups of islands of India. Lakshadweep lies in the Arabian Sea and the Andaman and Nicobar lies in the Bay of Bengal. Yes, next we will go to physical features. How the land looks. Physically means how when we see the India, wherever you go, how it looks. That is, they have given here. There are different landforms in our country. That means everywhere it is not same. In different places, it looks in different forms. Like the mountain ranges, for example, Himalayan mountains, plateau, some plains are there. Okay, plateaus are there. Desert, Thar desert is there, and plains also present. Plateaus also there, plains also there, deserts also present. These form the physical features of our country. These form the physical features of our country. India is a peninsula. What is the meaning of peninsula? They have given a peninsula is a land surrounded by water on three sides and a land on one side. See our India, this is covered by three sides. First side, second side and three sides. That is covered by water and one side by the land. One side by the land. So this is called as peninsula. This type of land is called as peninsula. So India is a peninsula. India has a group of islands on the eastern and western side of the mainland. East side as well as the west side, they have group of islands. What is the island? They have given here. An island is a piece of land surrounded by water on all the sides. Yes, all the sides, the water, it is covered by the water. Some land mass or a piece of land which is covered by the which is surrounded by the water is called as an island. The names of the islands are the Lakshadweep group of islands and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. What are the names? The Lakshadweep as well as Andaman and Nicobar Islands are the two groups of islands of India. Lakshadweep lies in the Arabian Sea. Lakshadweep lies in the Arabian Sea. This side, Lakshadweep. This side, Lakshadweep. Islands. See, they have given very small, like this. So this is the Lakshadweep. This is the Andaman and Nicobar. Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Here also some group of islands are there. So they are called as Andaman and Nicobar, and this side is called as Lakshadweep Islands. So what is the use of this island? Yes, they also people are staying there. It is a tourist places. So many people are visiting to this Lakshadweep as well as the Andaman Nicobar. From the other countries also they are coming here. How it looks and everything. So it is very beautiful places because it is always surrounded by the sea water. It is surrounded by the sea water. So it is a tourist place. So many beaches are there. So many ports are there. So the people visit this Lakshadweep Island as well as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Next we will move to the boundaries. What are the borders? What are the boundaries? I will read. The Indian peninsula is surrounded by the Himalayan mountain ranges in the north, the Bay of Bengal in the east, the Arabian Sea in the west, and the Indian Ocean in the south. The Himalayan is the mountain range that runs from the west to east with high peaks and deep valleys. It is the source of main perennial rivers. The Ganga and the Indus and the Yamuna are the three important perennial rivers in India. These rivers are snow-fed and thus have water throughout the year. The vast stretch of even land known as the plains of Ganga lies in the south of the Himalayan range. Up to here I will explain. Boundaries. Yes, the Indian peninsula is surrounded by the Himalayan mountain ranges in the north. Here the Himalayan mountains. Here the Himalayan mountains. Surrounded by the northern, in the north part, the Bay of Bengal in the east. This is the east, Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal. Sorry, this side Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal. And the Arabian Sea here. This is Arabian Sea. And the only sea which is named by the Indians, that is Indian Ocean. Here this ocean is Indian Ocean. This is Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea as well as by the Indian Ocean in the south. So this is the boundaries. First one is the Himalayan mountain. This east side is Arabian Sea, next side is Bay of Bengal, and the last in the southern side it is surrounded by Indian Ocean. Next come to the Himalayas. The Himalayas is the mountain range that runs from the west to east of with high peaks. West to east. West to east. This is west side. West to east it is running. Okay, with the high peaks as well as the deep valleys. High peaks with the deep valleys like this. Okay, when you compare, it has a high mountain ranges as well as the deep valleys. It is the source of perennial rivers. What is the meaning of perennial rivers? Yes, the rivers which flow throughout the year. Throughout the year, that is 365 days also, it is flowing with the water. In our area, have you seen some falls and everything? When the rainy season starts, then only it will flow. When the summer starts, it will dry. But these rivers are not like that. They are the perennial rivers. That means they will flow throughout the year. Which are they? The Ganga, the Indus, the Yamuna are the three important perennial rivers in India. These are the three important perennial rivers of India. The first one is the Ganga, holy river of the Indians. Indus, that is also, and the Yamuna. These are the very three important perennial rivers of India. Next, these rivers, why they are flowing throughout the year? How? These rivers are snow fed. That means in the rainy season, with the rainwater, they will flow. In the summer, the snow in the Himalayan mountain melt and converts it into water. So that water flow with these rivers. Flow along with these rivers. So throughout the year, the water is flowing. These rivers are snow-fed and thus have water throughout the year. The vast stretch of even land known as the plains of Ganga lies in the south of the Himalayan ranges. That means below these Himalayan ranges, this vast plain, very fertile land, that is called as plains of Ganga. What we call it as plains of Ganga, because river Ganga flow here. It will fed so much of water to the lands, to the so much lakhs together acres. It feed the water. It will grow so many crops, good crops. So this is called as plains of Ganga. They are very fertile lands. Next come to Thar Desert. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, lies in the northwest region of India to the south of the Ganga Plain. When you come to this Ganga Plain, south here, the Thar Desert is there. This portion is Thar Desert, that is in the Gujarat. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, because in India, that is the only one biggest desert we have. Okay, in India, that is the only one biggest desert. We have this Thar Desert. What is the desert? Yes, desert is the area where we get very less rainfall. Even sometimes there is no rainfall at all. Wherever you can see only the sand. We get only the sand, nothing is there. In some places we get some water, they are called as oases. That places are called as oases. So here in the desert we don't grow anything. This is a dry land. Next, it is very hot and dry region. Here very hot and dry region. We don't get any water at all. Only plants like date palms and cacti grow here. That is date palms as well as the cacti grow here. Nothing will grow here. See the desert place they have given in the figure. Nothing will grow here. The Deccan Plateau lies in the peninsular part of India. It is a rocky area and a raised level of land. This Deccan Plateau, this is called as the Deccan Plateau. It lies in the peninsular part of India. It is a rocky area and a raised level of land. That means highest raised level of land. The vast stretches of plains along the Arabian Sea in the west and the Bay of Bengal in the east of the coastal plains. India is a beautiful country with a variety of physical features. That means our India is a beautiful country with a variety of physical features. That means there is no single physical feature. We have different. As well as we have the Himalayan mountains, the plateaus, as well as the valleys, coastal areas, desert, plains, all those things we have got. That is Deccan Plateau is there. Okay. Once again we have the coastal area. That means beautiful coastal area. We have got the ports as well as the seashores as the visiting places. So this is about our country. The vast stretches of plains along the Arabian Sea in the west and the Bay of Bengal in the east are the coastal plains. From here to here we have the coastal plain. We have the longest coastal plain. So it attracts the tourist people from the other countries. They come to India and enjoy, and they will pay us. By the tourists, we earn some money. The other people get the job. So tourism is also one of the big business to our India by this coastal plains as well as the Himalayan mountains. In Himalaya, we have the second highest peak, that is K2. K2 is present, that is the second highest mountain in the world. Second highest mountain in the world. First one is the Himalayan mountain, that is K1. Second one is the K2. Next, political divisions. Our country is divided into many political regions known as states and union territories. Our country is divided into many political regions known as states and union territories. There are 28 states and 9 union territories in India. How many states are there? 28 states and 9 union territories. New Delhi is the national capital territory of our country. It is also a union territory. Yes, India is also a union territory. Delhi is also a union territory. That is also our national capital as well as the union territory. Other union territories are Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. These are the other 8 union territories after the Delhi. See other union territories, Jammu and Kashmir. Now they have removed the Article 371 or 378 that Jammu and Kashmir is also become the part of the India. Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman, Diu, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. These are the union territories. See, they have given the states of the 28 states. They have given Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. Andhra Pradesh has divided into 2 states, that is Telangana, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Bihar. So many states are there. Okay, I will tell one by one in the class. Okay, so this is about the political divisions as well as the basic features of India. That means our India is not unique in everywhere. That means not same in everywhere. It has different physical features. That means somewhere it has high mountains, somewhere lowlands, somewhere it is coastal area. Like that it consists. This is the 7th largest country in the world. Our India is the 7th largest country in the world. So this is about the basic features of India. Next they have given some, here they have given, do you know, Kanyakumari is the southernmost tip of the Indian mainland. Yes, Kanyakumari, last border. This is the southernmost tip of the Indian mainland. Indira Point, which lies at the tip of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, is the southernmost point of India. It is got submerged due to tsunami in December 2004. Yes, before that, Indira Point is the last border point of the India, which is present in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. But when we got the tsunami in the December 2004, yes, December 2004, we got a big tsunami. What is a tsunami? Yes, in the sea, earthquakes happen. Due to that, we will get so much of water rushed into the earth and it will immerse some land area or cover some land area. In that Indira Point also disappears. That Indira Point has also disappeared. So up to that, Indira Point is the last border tip of the India. Chandigarh is a city with special states. It is a union territory as well as the capital city of both Punjab and Haryana. Yes, Chandigarh is a city with a special status. Status. It is a union territory as well as the capital city of both Punjab and Haryana. Next, let us recall they have given. There are various landforms in our country like mountain ranges, plateaus, desert and plains. India's physical features consists of the Great Himalayan ranges, the Ganga plains, as well as the Great Indian Desert, Thar Desert, as well as the Deccan Plateau and the coastal plains. Our country is divided into many political regions known as states and union territories. New Delhi is the national capital territory of India. So this is about the lesson. We will continue the next lesson in the next class. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.